Hi, I'm Leslie Palma from Priests for Life, here with a Prolife Newsbreak. The U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to hear a case out of South Carolina that could have major ramifications for all the states hoping to defund Planned Parenthood under the Trump administration. In 2018, South Carolina cut off Medicaid funding to the nation's #1 abortion seller, as well as any physician or medical practice affiliated with an abortion business. Planned Parenthood and a patient sued, claiming that federal law allows Medicaid recipients to choose their healthcare providers. A U.S. District Court and the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of Planned Parenthood, so the attorneys from Alliance Defending Freedom, who are representing South Carolina, asked the Supreme Court to review the case, noting that other appeals courts have ruled the opposite way in cases from Arkansas and Texas. The case is called Carr versus Planned Parenthood South Atlantic, and it will be heard in the spring. An interesting battle is brewing between pro-life Texas and pro-abortion New York. Late last Friday, Texas Attorney General Dan Paxton sued a New York abortionist for violating Texas law by shipping abortion pills into the state. Texas law protects most babies from abortion and is among several states that do not allow chemical abortion pills to be sent through the mail. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said her state's SHIELD law protects abortionists who mail pills into places where they are not legal. The 20-year-old Texas woman at the heart of the suit ended up in the hospital with severe bleeding after taking the abortion pills. I'll be keeping an eye on this case. Speaking of chemical abortion, this just in, abortion hurts. Chemical abortion now accounts for most abortions in the US and the UK, but only the Brits were curious enough to ask women about their experiences with the deadly pills. Most of the women surveyed said they were not properly prepared for how much the at-home abortion was going to hurt. Abortion providers like Planned Parenthood tell women to expect cramping similar to a menstrual period. Not so, said many of the British women who answered the survey. Pain was so much stronger than period pain. It was like having contractions in labor, one woman said. I've given birth 3 times, and the pain really wasn't too much different from that pain. 48% said the pain was worse than they expected, while 41% classified the pain as severe. The study's lead author said the results of the survey show that counseling on this aspect of chemical abortion needs to improve. You think? Pro-lifers concerned about Robert Kennedy Jr.'s pro-abortion statements in the past were happy this week when Missouri Senator Josh Hawley said President Trump's pick to lead the Department of Health and Human Services is open to the idea of reimposing restrictions on the abortion pill mifepristone, including in-person dispensing of the drug. Hawley said Kennedy also committed to implementing all the anti-abortion policies from Trump's first term, including ending taxpayer funding for abortions in the U.S. and reinstating the Mexico City policy that bars U.S. funding for overseas abortion providers. Pro-life sentiments have been in short supply at the United Nations since the end of the first Trump administration, but the ambassador for the East African nation of Burundi spoke out against abortion extremism during the General Assembly meeting this week in New York. Ambassador Zephyrin Manirataranga said, "We do not agree that abortion can be characterized as safe. Abortion always ends the life of one human being and wounds a mother for the rest of her life." The ambassador also criticized the use of terms like sexual and reproductive health as euphemisms for abortion, and he called for the UN system to respect the laws of sovereign nations. When you sit down to catch up on the latest series on TV, are you hoping abortion will be central to the plot? If so, you were in luck this year. According to the annual Abortion On-Screen report, yes, that's an actual thing, there were 66 abortion plotlines this year across 63 shows, up from 49 last year. But the report, prepared by the abortion extremists at the University of California, San Francisco, said that the depictions of abortion do not mirror reality. The researchers were annoyed that there were only 2 depictions of chemical abortions and pointed out that most TV characters having abortions did not already have children, whereas most real-life women do. Expect to see more abortion in 2025. You may have noticed I'm wearing a football jersey today. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, and tomorrow we play our arch rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are leading in our division, but tomorrow's game could bring us into a tie for the top of the AFC North. I'm wearing number 9 for kicker Justin Tucker. He's the most accurate kicker in NFL history, but he's having a rough season. The 34-year-old Tucker, who sings opera in 7 languages in his spare time, is a devout Catholic who blesses himself with the sign of the cross before every kick. So I'm praying for Tucker and the Ravens. I know there are a lot of Steelers fans out there, so don't be waving your terrible towels at me. The Ravens have got this. Thanks for joining me on Pro-Life Newsbreak. All of us here at Priests for Life wish you a holy and happy Christmas. And please remember, life is the only choice.